If you buy industrial valves in the Gulf, one supply base already sits behind most of what you specify. In Saudi Arabia and Qatar, the largest single source of imported valves is Italy. This is why and what it changes for how you source. Italy's valve and fittings industry is around 500 industrial firms and 30,000 people, with 2024 revenue of €9.5 billion. Two-thirds of that is exported. Foreign sales passed €6.2 billion in 2025. The industry is not scattered. Lombardy carries roughly 65% of national value, and more than 90% of oil and gas valve revenue sits within 100 kilometers of Bergamo. Italy is the third largest valve exporter in the world, with a 9.9% share, and produces close to 40% of Europe's oil and gas valves. It leads the European ball, plug, butterfly and gate segments. Valves and tapware are the 8th largest Italian product category by trade surplus, at €5.3 billion. The centre of gravity has moved. In 2021, the Gulf took 11.3% of Italian valve exports. In 2025, it takes 17.6%, and the absolute value has almost doubled, past $1.7 billion. Saudi Arabia is now the largest single market in the world for this industry. €611 million of industrial valves, up 13.3%, with Italy holding 24% of Saudi valve imports. In Qatar, the Italian share is 34.8%, first supplier outright, while the Emirates grew 51.6% in a single year. The demand is linked to massive projects, and it is identifiable. Fadhili's expansion is $7.7 billion. Jafurah opens unconventional gas. Ruwais LNG mobilizes $45 billion. Northfield takes Qatar to 49 million tons a year. In southern Iraq, a $27 billion package with demanding water reinjection duty and Saudi desalination capacity moves from 4.16 to 7.37 million cubic meters a day by 2030. Tariffs have raised the cost of serving North America. European plant investment is broadly flat, with energy and copper costs up. So the Gulf is not simply one market among several for Italian producers. It is where capacity and engineering attention are being pointed. For a buyer here, that is leverage. Lead times, technical support, and willingness to localize are all more available than they were 4 years ago. The same logic extends north. Central Asia is small, $135 million, 1.34% of Italian valve exports. But Italy is already the third supplier in Kazakhstan at 15.9%, and Tengiz alone mobilizes $48 billion. In 2024, $2.2 billion of valve contracts went to local producers. That cost, not price, decides who can realistically bid. A Gulf contractor needed 3 valve families for a water treatment package, with ICV waiting and an 8-month window. The mandate started from the qualified population, 40-odd Italian makers with the right certification. Documented screening brought it to 6. 2 were audited on site. 1 held the API 641 file, the other closed the gap in 11 weeks against a committed order. So, practically, 1. Qualify at the EPC Technical Office pre-tender. 9 in 10 valves go into new plants. 2. Vet agents and stockists, documents, site visit. 3. Certification is a schedule item. 4. Check local content weighting early. 5. Second qualified source, different province.